Hey everybody, I am wearing my grumpy shirt today, and that's just by chance because I am not grumpy today because I have another product to show you, another brand of pet food that I am pretty impressed with. So let's just go ahead and jump right in and look at another one that some of you may want to check out. Okay, so I want to go ahead and show you a product called Now Fresh, and it's made by Petcurian. They're a company out of British Columbia, Canada. They've been around for about 20 years or so, and they have four brands. I know Go is another one of their brands, and there's a few others. I haven't looked at the others. I think Go I reviewed last year sometime, so I don't remember whether I liked it or not. But this is Now Fresh, and I think it's pretty new. And their website is really great because it gives a lot of information, and I was really impressed with it. There is a lot of the fresh food marketing on their website for sure. Pictures of fresh food and everything. Their motto here: created by nutrition experts, loved by pets. Simply healthy, irresistibly yummy pet food made with fresh meats. So they're down on meat meals, and they talk about fresh meat and stuff like that. So at first I was not too happy. It was just the same type stuff that you see everywhere. And what can we say? Marketing is marketing, right? If you look at the bags, it's a beautiful bag. I'll show you a picture of the bags. Real natural, all that kind of stuff. But again, you know me, show me the nutrients. That's what I'm really interested in the most. So I'm just going to go to the adult formula here, and you will see, if you go to their website, you'll see that there's good gravy, chicken coated in bone broth for dogs. So that's their adult chicken formula. And then they also have a salmon coated in bone broth for dogs. So there's a chicken and a salmon, and you can click on view details. You can click on the nutritional information. So you can get everything you want to know, which is, of course, what we're all after. So I was very impressed with that. So anyway, real quick, just going to jump right in. When I looked at the nutrient levels of the chicken formula, they show dry matter. They do show milligrams per 100 kcals, but we're just going to stick with dry matter to see how it compares to all the others we've looked at in the past. And sure enough, I'm surprised and impressed, because what I found was, if we looked at, I'll put it up here on the screen, the protein level is 29%. Very rare to find a dog food that's 30% or under, which is what would be the optimal range. Many of them are way above that because we're into this high protein thing. So 29%, very impressive. As you know, if you want to see the quality of those protein sources, show me the calcium and phosphorus. Calcium at 1.2, so it's zero point 0.2, 2/10 over that optimal of 1%. But look at the phosphorus, zero point 0.8. How many times do we see 0.8 in a dog food with 29% protein? So really impressed with that. Sodium comes in fine at 0.27. And just as you'd expect, AFCO guidelines say this is for what? For maintenance of adult dogs, not all life stages. So really impressed there. The vitamin E level was a little disappointing, only at 200 international units. I'd really like to see that at 4 or 5 or 600. You'll find some foods, up to even 800 or 1,000. So the vitamin E level is not too impressive. But again, overall, pretty darn impressive. The diet comes in at 377 a pound, so it's not one of your cheaper foods, that's for sure. But let's go ahead and look at the ingredient panel, because this is a food that is definitely marketing quality ingredients and whole ingredients, that kind of thing. And so here's the ingredient panel. Deboned chicken is the first ingredient. So that could be, deboned is great, could be really high quality chicken. Peas, we see that as a protein source. Oatmeal, rye is different. I haven't seen that before. Potatoes, pea flour, whole dried egg, that would be another protein source. Canola oil, preserved with mixed tocopherols. There's flaxseed for omega-3s, natural flavor. We'll always see that. Coconut oil, again, preserved with mixed tocopherols. And then we start getting into some of the um, vitamin and mineral things. You see some bone broth, pumpkin, squash, sweet potatoes, carrots, lentils, broccoli, blueberries, papaya, all kinds of fun stuff in there. There is a vitamin E supplement, though, even with the blueberries and all that other good stuff in there, and a vitamin E supplement, the vitamin E level, again, is kind of disappointing. But the overall general nutrition of this food is actually pretty darn impressive. And again, we look at deboned chicken, and I guess we can add peas in there, and whole dried egg. Those are your primary protein sources that are giving you that 29% protein from great sources. And with that mineral content, we know they are in fact using high quality ingredients. So kudos to them. I'm very happy with this. And again, it's a maintenance type diet. $377 a pound. That's even more than Science Diet and Pro Plan. But if you're looking for no meat meals and you want to get away from corn and some of the other things, this is an option. Again, you read through the website, very ingredient based, very all natural, all that kind of stuff, sustainability, all those things. But again, bottom line, I'm pretty impressed with the nutrition of this food. So I thought, okay, now I'm excited. Let me go over to their salmon diet and see what the salmon diet looks like. So I'm going to go there real quick. And let's see, I got to back up here. I generally don't try to do this live because I'm not very good at this, but I know Dr. Ray, man, she just flies all around and can show it on her screen. I have no idea how to do that. So, okay, so here we go. So the salmon, guess what? 29% protein. Awesome. A lot of times when they switch protein sources on us, we find really erratic nutrient levels. Well, salmon comes in at 29% proteins, which is great. Calcium and phosphorus, look at this. 1.1% calcium, 0.7 phosphorus, sodium 0.25. Wow. I'm impressed. They changed protein sources on us and they are still committed to giving you optimal nutrient levels right down to the mineral levels. Pretty darn impressive. Again, vitamin E levels at 193 international units. Again, that's the only disappointment in this food. If we look at the ingredient panel, deboned salmon. No wonder it's deboned. I mean, this has to be the best salmon you can catch or grow, whatever. They don't say whether it's farm raised or what, but whatever they're using to get that mineral content, good for them. So we've got deboned salmon, peas, oatmeal, rye again, potatoes, pea flour, canola oil, whole dried egg. A lot of the same. There's not a big difference here in this ingredient panel as I look at it, except for that primary protein source, whether it's chicken or whether it's salmon. And how many times will it say, salmon food, and then we look and what do we see? Salmon's the first ingredient, and then the next one is chicken, and the next one's beef. That kind of thing. I mean, so they're even being honest to their packaging is matching what's actually in the food. So and so then I thought, okay, let me again. You can go to the blog, and I'm just gonna go. Let's see if I can find it here. Just want to point out a few things in the blog. So like I said, the website has a lot of pretty pictures of ingredients and fresh ingredients and all that, and that's kind of their shtick. And you know what? I'm okay with that because the finished product is darn good. And so just a couple things I grabbed from their blog. There's one about protein, and it says, more protein is not always better. And so if you go to the blog segment on their website, you can go and read some pretty good articles. And I love when a food company can deliver great nutrition and actually educate the consumer to some stuff rather than just lying to them and giving them pet food marketing. And so I just want to read a couple real quick. Here's one. It's not the protein source that matters most. Oh my goodness, wherever you heard that. But rather, it's about finding the right balance of amino acids. This is why there is no single best protein source for dogs. However, whole eggs are what's considered a perfect protein because they contain all the essential amino acids dogs need. This is in an article that goes through and explains protein, explains the essential amino acids, how the dog can make the other non-essential amino acids. And really, I hope I've talked about this enough. Really, what a dog doesn't need protein. A dog needs amino acids. And of course, that's what protein is. But I love the fact there's no it's not the protein source that matters most, but finding the right balance of amino acids. That's what nutritionists do. That's what they're doing in their diet using meat and pea and egg. Okay, that's why Science Diet, Pro Plan, Royal Canin will use meat, corn gluten meal, soy, egg. What I could go on and on. Okay, it's all about, do you have the expertise to deliver the essential amino acids, all the amino acids at the right levels? That's what matters versus what they're not saying here. And actually they do say it in the article. It's not like meat is magic. I say this all the time. They don't say that, but meat is not a perfect protein source. Just using meat is not the answer. It's delivering at the right balance of amino acids. So I really like that they say that. Here's another thing I found. Are byproduct meals bad for dogs? Now, of course, byproduct meals, meat meals, we hear that all the time, how bad it is. I really like their description here, their explanation. There are no set inclusion levels for the types of byproducts that can be used in byproduct meals. Now, meal, it's been just dried and cooked and dried down to a powder. But as far as what can be included, as we know, because of AFCO and everybody else, it's really unregulated horribly. This means it's often made up of a wide array of ingredients that vary in nutritional quality from liver to chicken feet. So there you go, from high quality organ meat to garbage, right? So while some batches of a byproduct meal may be well made and highly nutritious, it's impossible to know for sure. Um, I hope I call you guys the students of the nutrition mission, but I hope some of you know. Well, this is where, and this was written by their in-house nutritionist. You can see her picture and her bio and all, and everything she's saying is great. I think she misses the point here where it's true. A byproduct meal can be really highly nutritious organ meat, or it could be real garbage. She's saying it's impossible to know for sure. Well, one way you can get a real clear indication is what? Show me that calcium and phosphorus that they're delivering in their food, and I will tell you it. Now, their food, they just use the fresh meat. They're saying we don't use meals. Okay, so again, they're kind of into that shtick, that marketing. But at least they're being honest in their article, saying byproduct meal can actually be really good. They choose not to use it. That's fine. But at least they're educating the consumer or the pet parent that, what, when you see byproduct meal or you see chicken meal, whatever, they're saying you can't tell if it's good. That's why we only use fresh meat. And I'm okay with that. I like that approach. But the fact is, actually, we can. It's not impossible to know. I can look at two foods that say chicken byproduct meal or chicken meal. They both could say that on their ingredient panel. Then I look at their nutrient levels and I will immediately know this one's using garbage, this one's using really good, by looking at the calcium and phosphorus, right? So that's why when people, especially new people that come in, what's this about the minerals and the excesses showing quality? If the quality is there, you're going to have a lower calcium and phosphorus, which is healthy for the animal, for kidney disease, urinary stones, whatever. But it's a clear indication of the quality of the meat sources in that food. Okay, so that's why we talk about minerals all the time. It's hard. It is difficult and expensive to have a healthy mineral content in a food. That's why most of them are so excessive. That's why I'm really impressed with Now Fresh with the levels they have. How many times does it happen that I really like the dog food based on the nutrient levels, and then the cat food is or vice versa? The cat is great, but the dog is all life stage and it's excessive and all. Well, here you go. Here's a food company that is just consistent. Okay, so if we look at the nutrient profile, what do we find? The percentage of protein for this cat food is 35%. How about that? Instead of the extreme high protein, your cat is a carnivore, they need nothing but meat, meat is magical, blah, blah, blah. They actually have the expertise and the bravery these days to actually have 35% protein. So I'm really impressed. The fat content is 20%. That's great. Good, somewhat high energy food for a cat, no problem. The carbohydrate percentage, I don't normally mention this, the carbohydrates, 35%. So again, they're not playing this high protein, low carb marketing baloney that other companies do. And what do we get from that? Look at the calcium and phosphorus level, zero point 0.8 and 0.7. Really, just you got to love this company. You really do. Sodium is 0.54. I looked at magnesium too because that's important with a cat food. I don't normally look at that with dog food, and it's 0.11. Perfect. So again, just really this company knows what they're doing, and they put it into their product. And I'm very happy that I discovered them. And you guys really need to check them out. Again, I'm sure this isn't the cheapest food, especially cat food, but you really need to check it out. So here's the ingredient panel, and we see deboned turkey as the first ingredient. I just want to notice, I'm looking at here, and I want to go down to find the salmon and the duck, and we do find deboned salmon and deboned duck further down the ingredient list. We see peas, potato, whole dried egg, pea flour, potato flour, natural flavor, canola oil. I just love the fact, and there's flaxseed, pea fiber, alfalfa, tomato, apples, carrots, pumpkin. For a carnivore, oh my goodness, they're just totally breaking every rule that the pet food marketers have established out there. And God bless them. And again, even if you don't use the food and you want to just read their blog to hear about protein and stuff like that, doesn't mean we're going to agree on everything, but I think they're actually trying to educate the pet parent out there instead of just try to, finagle them and get them to buy something. So, so there you go. There's my my review of Now Fresh, and those of you that have tried it or use it, let us all know. And again, I've said this before, and it just gets more and more true as time goes on. The comments from you guys, the information that you offer, the experience you offer, the opinions based on experience. For those of you that are new to my channel, I try to give you as much information as I can, but read the comments, because you will hear from a lot of great folks out there that are kind of committed to this channel and committed to Dr. Ray's channel. We're all learning, and we're learning a lot, and it's all for the benefit of our pets. So, so again, thanks for listening, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.